Thank you. Please, if you want, if you are like me and you don't understand Spanish, it's better to have a headset, even if I know that in Miami everyone speaks perfectly well Spanish. So it's my great pleasure to welcome on stage His Excellency Sergio Massa, the Minister of Economy of Argentina. Thank you for being with us. You just arrived and landed a few minutes ago from Washington, D.C. So thank you. So just a few words about His Excellency. Minister Massa has worked in the public administration since 1996. He has been a provincial member of Congress, head of ANSES, mayor of Tigre, chief of staff, national member of Congress, and also candidate for president of the Argentine Republic. He has been the president of the Chamber of Representatives of the National Congress, and he is, of course, currently the Ministry of Economy of the Argentine Republic. So I cannot welcome you on stage without first, Minister, congratulate you for the win of the World Cup. So bravo, Argentina made us so proud and so happy. You did an amazing finale in the World Cup. But let's talk about the economy. So, Minister, you have recently advocated for global financial reform and amid Argentina's own economic challenge. How do you balance Argentina's domestic agenda, which is of course related to the priorities of the citizen, with pushing for change on a global scale? How do you manage these two, I would say, priorities?
Bueno, en primer lugar, muchísimas gracias, Richard, por la invitación.
Bueno, first of all, thank you for the invitation. And 20 minutes ago, we came from Washington, and we had a bilateral agenda with the FMI, with a lot of work, and I did not want to stop coming here, and I did not want to stop sharing my ideas to try to find solutions and alternatives of what is today the lack of certainty and the lack of aspiration of our societies. So thank you for inviting me and for being able to share with you my thoughts. You know that my Spanish is worse than my English, but well, I'm speaking in Spanish, and I do want to speak my. I want to speak my ideas in my language, and I think that we have to share the ideas in that diversity. And when we see the behavior of the global economy, and when we see the behavior between the average developing countries, you find the contradiction that the powerful countries are not a vehicle of development of emerging countries. In the average countries, you have 60% of poverty of the world, and those average income countries are those that have most of the resources. But however, the organization in Washington, they work on the base that the interest rates is fixed and respond more to the financial markets than to the necessity of developing. and at the end of the day, they end up being less attractive to seize the opportunities in emerging countries. And that's why, undoubtedly, the redesigning of the international architecture, economic architecture, we need the developing banks. They must have the aim to aim for the development rather than looking at the risk index or to the rating mechanisms that we establish in the credit organizations, because at the end of the day they have to they have to do the, these banks, they really have to push for this development that will allow resources to become capitals of development in the countries. So we need to capitalize the credits we do need to take these international decisions along in other countries. So for instance, if we put as an example Norway or the Middle East or the Asian countries, finally these countries will actually offer will actually replace the main countries, the multilateral countries, because they offer better rates. And yesterday I offered this with the Joe Biden, with the most important staff of the US, and we understand that the multilateral thinking that they have to allow us to go through the bureaucracy, and they have to allow us to develop well our economies.
Like IMF
So what are the constraints
are imposing to you? How do you manage how they are impacting negatively countries like Argentina and, generally speaking, emerging economies? Can you describe these constraints and how do you manage them?
En primer lugar, yo creo que
first of all, we face a problem with the IMF and the countries of the IMF, and we don't have associated we're not associating the look of these credits to the development. We are just associating the credits to the accounts of or the budget of the public spending. So it is important that there is an access to credit regardless of the budget, of the budgeting, and the development of projects. The best way to develop the life of citizens, it's about developing the ideas, developing the lives of citizens, and we need the countries to develop the lines of the economic agenda and what are the ideas of the global agenda, and and what are the needs in the short term. We could actually analyze what lithium needs or what other minerals represent to Argentina, and what are the needs to actually credit this private sector, not only to source US, but also like the global market. Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile have the biggest biggest global source of lithium, and then we have to think what credit do we need to be able to try to sort the lithium for the needs of any technology, and this is a window that opens, and maybe, who knows, after 20 years the lithium will be changed by a different mineral, but in the meantime we need to develop the extraction of the lithium. So what do these countries need? What do we need to actually source the countries? We need investments. What are the conditions for these investments? The capacity to repay these projects, or the rating of these countries. And there it's where like the problem is.
What can you do to international investors to secure them, to convince them to invest in Argentina? Because you have an amazing potential. We all know the natural resources of Argentina, but people, let's be very frank, there is a perception that it's not totally safe to invest in Argentina because we don't know where the country is going. Let's be very frank. So what are you saying to these investors?
Argentina tiene dos situaciones. Una situación
Argentina has two situations,
está marcada
and Argentina has two problems. One, the process of financing different sectors that involved the escape of capital, and then the second is the mismanagement of the money in the public sector. So there is the future of Argentina, and this stops us from develop our country. But at the same time, I want to do the same analysis. So then the next discussion in the world is about proteins, and this is in the global agenda, and each region in the world it's rethinking strategies about how to have food security. The 80% of consumption of protein, 40% of the proteins of the world is produced in the south of this continent, and 80% of the protein in the south is produced by Argentina. So in the agenda of harvestry and of cattle, we have been strangled in terms of credit. If we look at the perspective, we are seeing that we start to see that there are decisions taken for the month of May. 40% of growth projected in sunflower, 25% projected in wheat, 20% projected in the growth of soy. So in terms of the drought, generated a lot of this generated a lot of growth in Argentina, and it could generate a better growth along these years. But the proteins are not the only battle that is going to have that we're going to have in the world. Energy is going to be another battle in the next years, and then. And this is going to generate even a bigger battle because we are in an energy transition. Where is the second biggest shale oil gas? So then we look at the US. That's the first shale oil gas, but we found a huge shale oil gas reserve in Vaca Muerta, a region in the south of Argentina, which could provide enough energy to Chile, Brazil, and Argentina. All of us, in 140 years, we do know that the world will not use gas as energy. But there is a window of opportunity for the next 40 years. So how much can, in only 1 year, Vaca Muerta has growth 21% of energy supply. But that's only gas. Argentina is also building a gas pipe to provide Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. And the formation of gas also have liquids. And then in the 20 and 25, we get 1 million barrels a day. So someone is going to consume that volume of oil in the world in the way of a transition of the new energy. And someone could say, so energy and protein is not enough. So there are also minerals. Again, together with Bolivia and Chile, we have the biggest lithium triangle. We have the biggest reserves of lithium, one of the biggest reserves of silver, one of the biggest reserves of coal. And they are like, we do have a lot of credits approved for projects around these minerals. And then there is a fourth point. We can see that Argentina is a country with a lot of resources, but then it has a problem of human capital. But then if you look at Argentina and Colombia in terms of manpower for services, regarding talent, they are the main providers. Only this year, Argentina is exporting professional and intellectual services to the rest of our continent. And basically, this has to do with a free university system that allows the human Argentinian capital to be chosen as one of the mains in Latin America. One of the main services of manpower has to do with Argentina and Colombia and also even Croatia. If you look at the economic balance of Argentina today, it looks dubious. But if you look at the potential throughout many sectors, through the sectors that I mentioned, there is no doubt that there are no distances among the citizens to have freedom to get different type of currencies and to invest in Argentina and get benefits or profits.
Currency for Latin America. It's quite.
There is a common.
Can you tell us more about the advantage or the disadvantage to have a common currency? And if it's happening, do you think this will have an impact on your relationship with United States of America?
Primero,
first of all,
los países
the countries that have an economic relation with Argentina and Brazil, or maybe with Argentina and Uruguay, a side of the balance, they are trying to find a balance in their own currency. This is already functioning. The Central Bank of Argentina, Central Bank of Uruguay, they do it, and the Central Bank of Brazil and the Central Bank of Argentina, they do it as well. And we're also taking the extension of payments in the trades, and this is what. And well, there is always like this fear of the entry and coming out of dollars inside our economies. In terms of the agreement, the agreement of the euro came 40 years before the euro was possible, and so there must be a lot of alignments across a lot of countries, fiscal balances, definitions of capitals, to define that currency. Like it cannot be just a political wish. It has to be a real instrument. It is possible that we're going into an economy of blocks. This is a reality. But obviously, it's important that the blocks find capacity of interaction.
For the next 6 months, and how do you see Argentina in the next 5 years? Sorry.
Next.
Yeah, your priorities for the next 6 months, and how do you see Argentina in the next 5 years?
Bueno. Yo más que una prioridad lo que tengo hoy es una responsabilidad, que es...
Today I have a responsibility and a situation of crisis because they lost reserves because of a printing of money that was uncontrolled. And now we have the task of stabilizing the economy, and this is my first task in the next month. Where do I see the economy in the next years? I do see the economy multiplying by 2 or 3 the exports of knowledge, and we are in $500 million. And I see the economy, I see multiplying by 5 the export of crude oil. And I also see the Argentinian economy opening the gas in Brazil, the gas in Bolivia, and the gas in Chile. That Bolivia will have to start to be an importing country because they run out of oil. And I also see Argentina exporting oil, liquid oil, to different countries. I also see Argentina exporting a lot of biotechnology and nanotechnology related to food. And I also see Argentina being one of the main exporters of minerals with added value. We want to have the effects to absorb the investments of the Western world, and I do feel that this is what's going to turn around the negative balance of the economic balance in Argentina.
Minister Massa, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for
best of luck. Thank you.